Hey, how's it going? It's Jocelyn here with the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. Today you are tuning into our Tuesday episode where we get pregnancy specific and we give mindset tips and tricks to help you with finding a positive mindset in pregnancy, especially if pregnancy is hard for you. If pregnancy is easy for you, this podcast probably is not for you. But if you find pregnancy hard, this is your podcast because I help to give you mindset tools and tips to help you get through that really hard stage of growing a baby. Today, actually, though, we are going to talk about mom guilt over not nursing your baby. So join in. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, host of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life, and I can help you. Thanks for joining. So I've got to clear the air here. I've actually had the idea to do this episode for quite a while, but I have put it off because of a couple reasons. So the first reason I've put it off is because I do sometimes get worried about offending people. I don't enjoy offending people and I don't want to offend people. And the second reason I have put this off is because I am not really on solid ground on this topic. Meaning I'm not totally for nursing and I'm not totally for bottle. I'm actually somewhere in the middle. And so I can totally see both sides of the coin. I can see where nursing is helpful and I can see where doing bottle feeding is helpful. So kind of not really being on solid ground on whether I'm like all the way nursing or all the way bottle has kind of made me a little bit hesitant to do this episode because I know that sometimes it can be insightful to have someone who is passionate one way or the other. But like I said, I am in the middle, but I had this come up with someone I know and I just wanted to share some insights. But I also had to give you those disclaimers before we get started. Today I also wanted to try and give you a little story. I enjoy trying to tell the stories and I hope that they're helpful. If they do help and you do want to reach out and tell me that they help you, that would be super cool. I don't get very much feedback on my podcast. It's kind of one-sided. But if they do help you and you want to reach out, my email is in the show notes and you can let me know if you like the stories or if I'm just not a great storyteller. I can totally take some constructive criticism. So, her mind had been racing. Her baby was only a few days old, and she had been feeling overwhelmed. She'd been stressed. She had been stressed about whether or not to nurse her baby. She had not nursed any of her other 3 babies and did not want to really nurse this one, and she was feeling the guilt. She was remembering how just a few weeks ago, she was with a couple of friends and they had both nursed all of their babies and they seemed excited and passionate about nursing. Why was she not feeling that same excited energy when it came to nursing? Instead, she was filled with dread. She felt stressed about it and anxiety and knew she did not want to nurse, but that mom guilt was there and it was heavy and thick in her mind, telling her that she was a bad mom because she wasn't going to nurse her baby. Telling her that her baby was going to be far behind all the other babies in the world because she did not nurse her baby. That she was a bad mom because she didn't take the time or the sacrifice to nurse her baby. She felt that she was not a good mom because she was doing formula for her baby. And all these layers of mom guilt kept piling on. It was bottling up and she was feeling terrible. She almost got to the point where she was feeling resentful about having a baby because if she didn't have the baby, she wouldn't have to have all this guilt about not nursing the baby. And on it went. She was so down and so discouraged and felt like such a bad mom. But she wanted to have this baby. She was excited to have this baby. But she just couldn't nurse, and she couldn't seem to clear the mom guilt. Have you felt mom guilt over not nursing your baby? Maybe it's through people you associate with that have highly encouraged nursing the baby, or your midwife, or your mom, or your sisters. But nursing the baby is just hard. It's hard for you, and you get down in a rut, and it's hard to figure out. It's painful, it's frustrating, and you just don't want to nurse. But you're feeling this heavy mom guilt. What do you do, and how do you manage that guilt? The first thing I'm going to suggest is to think why you are feeling that guilt. Why does it feel so heavy? Why is it constantly in your thoughts? What has caused you to start thinking that way and to feel that guilt? After you do that, after you think of all the reasons why, I want you to think if that guilt is useful. Is it helping you to do better or to be a better mom or a better person? Or is it dragging you down? Sometimes guilt can just drag us down. Sometimes it can be useful in helping us to become better, but it also can drag us down. And the next thing that I'm going to suggest that you can do after you've slowed it down and thought through why and decided if that guilt was useful or not useful is that you get to decide. You do not have to be subject to what your subconscious dictates. So if your subconscious is dictating to you that you should feel bad about not nursing, you don't have to feel bad about that. You can choose to feel differently. You can choose other thoughts such as, I am deciding not to feel guilty because this is what is best for our family. I get stressed out with nursing and it is too difficult and painful, and my milk production isn't high enough, so I feel much better and like a better mom for not nursing. And that is what is best for me and my family. And there at that moment, once you have some of those positive thoughts for why you are doing what you're doing that are helping you out, then you decide not to feel guilty. You don't let it weigh you down anymore. It is so powerful and effective to decide rather than staying in the middle ground. And maybe it doesn't have to be an all or nothing. Maybe it's not all bottle or all breast, but maybe a combination of both. I know for my first baby, he was both. He was a NICU baby, and we did both. And I'm actually going to do another podcast episode about learning how to nurse a NICU baby because that was difficult as well. I did both with him. My second baby, I exclusively nursed. I nursed her for a full year. No bottles. My third baby, I did both. And my fourth baby, her tummy didn't react good to some of the formulas I tried. I tried to do both, but I ended up doing some pumping and nursing. So I've kind of done the spectrum. And when it comes to a situation like this, it's not between good or bad, or at least I don't feel it's between good or bad. I just feel it's whatever is best for you and your family. Whatever feels best for your inspiration and your revelation in whether nursing or bottle is going to be good for you and your mind and for you and your baby. Now, I know there are people that are all the way pro bottle, and I know there are people that are all the way pro nursing. But sometimes I think it's okay to find happiness in the middle ground, and especially in not letting yourself feel so guilty over one choice or the other. Because that guilt, if we live in guilt, it makes us not show up as the person we want to be. We show up less than what we want to be because we're feeling so terrible inside, and we're not becoming the mom we want to be. So I hope that gives you a few thoughts on mom guilt with nursing. Like I say, it wasn't really definitive one way or the other, and I am still on the fence. I'm on both sides. So take it for what it's worth, but I hope it helps you deal with some of that mom guilt if that is your season. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. And most of all, thank you for applying these teachings into your life. You are an amazing mama, and your children need you. Keep up the good work. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you in a positive pregnancy, in losing that stubborn baby weight, and becoming the mom you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday mom life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.